Hey everybody, it's me. Do you like the new mask? Took quite a while to make, but I'm happy with the result. I hope you enjoy it. Unfortunately, as much as I would like to say that I'm happy about the result of my mask, truth is, I am not doing well. As it stands, I seem to have run into the wall finally at just the age of 22. As it stands, I can no longer really pay my rent and have hobbies at the same time. I can no longer really make videos anymore just because, well, I have to replace my controller and that's money that I simply do not have. As it currently stands, I am looking at the possibility that I will be homeless. Not entirely helpless, I will retain my job for at least a couple more months, but I'll be homeless. So, really, this is just an update and perhaps the beginning of a diary series. I don't really know what this series is going to be about, but I guess we'll find out. I am most likely going to actually leave this house for a while. I'm not sure where I'm going to stay, but I simply cannot pay essentially the cooperation that we have to pay, but let's face it, it's rent. I have no passport, no degree. I don't have the money to go into university. We are just on the verge of winning a legal battle that we have been fighting since 2018. And it's just been a while. I don't have the motivation to make videos anymore. I don't have the willpower. I barely have the energy. I haven't been eating well. I haven't been sleeping well. I have work in about 6 hours. I haven't slept at all. It's 12 in the morning. It's midnight. And I have to be at work in 6 hours. I skipped 2 days of work. And I am potentially going to face very serious repercussions. I just haven't had the energy. I just haven't had really any willpower left in me to continue this journey. Feelings of depression, inadequacy, whatever you want to call it, they've been taking over, and as it currently stands, there's just not much that I can do. As for how things are at home, it's not much better. My brother and I don't have anything to talk about. We barely get along. And well, we haven't really spoken to each other since a fight we had years ago. It was a very strong fight. It's not really a memory that I want to relive, but between my brother and I, our relationship is just barely there. My mother is, well, to put it simply, my mother wants me to be responsible. My mother wants me to have a job to be able to take care of myself, but she herself is a yoga teacher. A job that clearly doesn't pay enough for the kind of house that we have. A job that obviously requires of my assistance. Every single time I have stopped paying, they have to pull money from somewhere. They simply rely on me. And my stepdad is a businessman who relies on the debt of others to survive. They owe him millions, and they are probably never going to pay him. So as it stands, I have a brother that I barely talk to, a mother that is just a complete hypocrite, and a stepfather who simply does not understand my situation. What he sees as perhaps me never growing up is simply not the kind of situation that he understands. He seems to think that because he has a degree in psychology and a background in business, he knows better than I do. In certain regards, that is true. But the way he comes across is dismissive, arrogant even. And so would argue that he's earned it. I wouldn't. He seems very out of touch, as if working hard is the way to get a house, to be happy, to live a life worth living, essentially. But he seems to fail to understand that, simply put, the cost of living has just gone up significantly. Stable jobs are no longer a thing. Really, jumping from job to job is what we have left. Mental health issues have just been steadily rising over the years, and unfortunately, I am one of those victims. I've never been really the kind to just suck it up. And that's kind of why I skipped work for 2 days. I may have potentially listened to the last call of a woman. And the sheer powerlessness of not being able to do anything was enough to drive me away for a pretty long period of time. I am just too good of a person to listen to someone potentially being murdered and not care. Something my family showed nothing but callousness towards. They say that responsibility comes first, a million and a half things. And I am just done sacrificing. I've sacrificed my health, my mental health, my hobbies, my time, the things I love, the people I love, for a job that makes me feel miserable. I've sacrificed all the joy in my life for what feels like nothing. And the older generations will never understand that kind of pain. It is simply not something they have experience with. But as it stands, it's a high possibility that I'll just simply be homeless, living under a bridge or in a homeless shelter, but still with a job. A depressing reality, but reality nonetheless. But as it stands, it is what it is. I've been suffering from suicidal thoughts for a long time, long before I even became an adult. Hell, even before I even was a teenager. I've just never been happy. I've had to sacrifice so much to try to fit in. And now I have to sacrifice even more to even eat. And I suppose the next logical conclusion is I would sacrifice the people that have made me unhappy for so long for a chance. At least finding something different. But yeah, that's just the situation. I don't really have much else to say. Some of my other videos that I've never posted ended up like being like, I don't know, like 50 minutes long. And I had something to say back then, but as it stands, there's nothing. So I'll stop with the babbling and I'll just cut it here. Be kind to each other, live a good life, and we'll see each other on the other side. Take care out there. This is Wavy, signing out.